How's everyone doing? Today I'm be doing Certified Menace or not Certified Menace. Goddamn. I'm basically just gonna be talking about the movie Trick or Treat. I was gonna do Certified Menace on Sam in this movie, but then watching this movie, Sam doesn't really do a whole lot. It's more like 4 different stories put together where shit just happens. Sam is like the main villain in it. He's basically the Spirit of Halloween, but it's not only him doing shit. You get more of like stuff happening than just Sam doing stuff. So it would have been really short if I just done a Certified Menace on him. But anyways, let's get into it. The movie starts off with a couple, and the woman doesn't believe in Halloween. Bad mood because she puts out the last jack-o'-lantern, and her boyfriend's like, here, she basically wants him to help her take down all his decorations because her man's gonna be coming the next day, and he's basically like, hey, can we just like go upstairs and fuck? And she's like, oh, okay, I'll be with you in a second. Go upstairs, put the tape in so I can come up there and like dominate you later on. So then she's taking down her decorations, and when she opens up her chest, her bed sheets just jump out of nowhere. Little bed demons just come and like wrap themselves around her, and then something in the bed sheet also attacks her, stabs her, because then she collapses on the ground and in the front of a bunch of trick-or-treaters, and there's like blood sprayed everywhere on the sheets and all, and her body just gets dragged off. Then her boyfriend wakes up after watching, I don't know, a porn or some shit. I don't know what tape that was that he put in the TV. He wakes up, he goes downstairs to look for his girlfriend, and he finds her body strung up like Jesus, and there's a fucking lollipop shoved into her mouth. So we cut to this one fat ass obese child who ate all of their week's supply of food that their parents got for grocery shopping. So he's walking around and he's basically knocking over pumpkins, just doing the Halloween tradition of being a scumbag. So when he gets to this one guy's house, Principal Wilkins, he goes over to the front door and it says there's like a little bowl of sweets saying, oh yeah, take one please. So obviously this fat ass kid who's dyslexic doesn't really know how to read, so he takes all of that shit, actually pours it into his sack. So then he gets caught by Principal Wilkins. He walks by and Principal Wilkins literally just tells him, sit down, stay, good boy. So then he's basically sitting with the kid and he's talking to him like about Halloween tradition shit. It's like, oh, how we used to have all these Halloween traditions, but now no one really gives a shit. And just then, the kid turns into a liquid shit fountain and basically passes out on Wilkins' lap. So then Wilkins drags his body basically to his backyard and tries to bury it. But while he's burying it, the little stupid ass neighbor's dog just starts barking at him. And Wilkins doesn't want him to reveal him burying the body, so he basically circumcises the kid, throws his chopped off penis to the kid, throws chopped off dick to the dog, and the dog's munching on it. Creed comes out and basically, what's up, see what's up, like, yo, Spike, what are you doing here? You done taking the shit? The dog's name is Spike, and the Principal Wilkins tries to hide in the fucking hole with the kid, to not avoid being detected by Krieg like it's in Skyrim, but then the kid squeals and Krieg notices, and he's like, Principal Wilkins, what are you doing in there, bud? What are you at? Are you trying to like kill yourself by suffocating yourself with dirt? And then he's like, oh yeah, my septic tank's fucked up. So he's like, oh yeah, fix it. It smells like a dead whore out here. So Wilkins, Krieg goes back in, and then he buries the kid. And then during the scene, Wilkins' stupid ass son just kept on asking him, don't forget the ice, Daddy! Daddy, are we gonna carve up pumpkins later on? Daddy, do you still want to carve up my head? He basically just has a little annoying ass kid that won't leave him alone. Oh yeah, and as he's going in, Krieg gets attacked by the window like a couple of minutes later, and he's just banging on the window like, help me, Wilkins, come on, ring 911, please come save me. And then Wilkins literally just says to him, screw you, because Krieg said screw him till later on, like, bro really just ignored him, because he said screw you. So we cut to two people in an alleyway. One guy's a vampire and he's making out with this woman, and he basically puts her hands up against the wall, and he bites down on her pretty much, and she starts to bleed, and then he looks at your one and he's like, I got some Kool-Aid, did they? And then she starts freaking the fuck out, so she runs out into the alleyway to try and get some help. But since it's Halloween, it's everyone is dressed up, and no one really gives a shit about her cries for help. Really, they don't really care. They just think she's drunk out of her mind. They just think it's a costume, whatever. Like even the couple from the start of the movie, they come by her and she basically tries to ask them for help. And then the boyfriend said, she's like, honey, she's drunk. She's had a bit too much Henny. So they just walk off. And then the guy appears behind her, kills her off screen, and then just leaves her body just like beside two people that are drinking. So it looks like she's passed out with them. And then he just walks away. So we got to a group of We cut to a group of kids who are basically going to this rock quarry to play this like mean ass prank on this other woman that they just called out just to troll her. I don't know. they literally just call her out just to like troll her. They literally call her Rhonda the retard. So they end up at this rock quarry, and one of them explains a story about like a driver basically had to drive 8 retarded kids or 8 special kids with mental disabilities. I don't know, they're just special out because their parents don't really like their kids. So basically the parents had to deal with Creek to, basically drive them to a quarry and just, I don't know, abandon them there, let them run away, frolic in the fields like lost little dogs or rabbits. So basically as the driver is driving the kids, he goes around checking the restraints on these kids. These kids are like handcuffed in the bus. It's like the Shawshank Redemption book kindergarten. So he goes around checking the restraints. One of the kids' restraints are actually loose, and he manages to get out of the restraints. So what does he do? He goes over to the front wheel and kills the whole bus. He kills himself, all the kids, and the driver. Actually, the driver is the only one that survived because the bus falls into the lake and the driver climbs out. So then the kids are basically going down into the quarry, and there's only enough for like 3 of them. So basically one of them, Macy, ends up going down with the elevator with the rest of the boys, and when the elevator comes back up, it's only one of the kids, Chip and Rhonda. They go down the elevator, and as they're going down, they notice that the kids, that they have pumpkins, and their pumpkins just start going out just in the darkness, one by one. It starts to go out, starts to fade out, and they hear screaming. So then Rhonda, basically, Chip is too much of a pussy to walk out the elevator. So Rhonda basically tells him, stay here, just don't do anything, just you're on timeout right now, just like stay in this elevator. If your pumpkin's on, it will keep you safe. Okay. But so then as Rhonda's walking, she notices the sunken bus in the lake. She goes over and she sees masks in the lake as well. So she goes over to, get a closer look. And then the fucking hand comes out of the ground. It grabs her. Fucking Swamp Thing wants to get her out of his territory. And then she notices a bunch of figures, thinking those are the zombie children. She notices one of them are feasting upon Chip's guts, like, free sausages. And then she starts to run away, panicking because, she thinks she's going to get her brains eaten. So then she ends up tripping, loses her glasses, basically becomes blind. She gets up, starts running again, and then she gets cornered by the figures, and she basically has like nowhere else to go because she's standing on like this basically this ledge, and underneath her there's water. So she ends up falling back into the water. She wakes up because she got knocked out, and turns out, it was the kids pranking her. It was them doing their little stupid ass prank. It went too far because then Rhonda starts, crying, and basically they go to pack up all their stuff, all their belongings that they brought to, troll Rhonda. And as they're doing it, they hear screaming. So I don't know what decision this was, but one of the kids that was with her basically just tells her, "Oh, stay here. I'm gonna go check on him." Why the fuck would you leave her on her own in the dark of the forest where you just heard your friend screaming of fear? So the guy goes over to the group. Macy kicks a fucking jack-o'-lantern into the lake. I swear they had like this whole tradition where if you keep the jack-o'-lanterns lit, you should be safe. She didn't really give a shit. So the guy meets up with the group, and then they notice the actual zombie children. They're coming here to basically eat them because they disrespected the shit out of them. They're coming here to get the imposters. So the kids are all, the group is all running away. One of them gets dragged because like they're dressed up as like a kinky chain demon or some shit. So one of them gets dragged away into the darkness, and then they get to the elevator. But who's in the elevator? Rhonda. And Rhonda doesn't really give a shit about any of them because they're all pleading, saying, "Oh, let me in, let us in. It's real this time. There are zombies that want to eat us and like tear our flesh off. I promise you, it's not a prank." And then she's like, I don't really give a shit. So she basically just like she basically just presses the button for the elevator to go up, and as the elevator goes up and as she gets off, you can hear the group just screaming and crying, and they're being literally ripped apart. She also notices Sam in like a little stone cylinder, and they just like basically part ways. So then we cut to this woman who's basically with her friends, and they're basically going around. They're basically having a party, and she's on her way to this party. So she's walking around, and she hears noises, so she turns around saying, "Listen, I'm not in the mood. Hop out. I call you red-handed, literally, when I'm dressed in red." So she turns around again. It's Mr. Wilkins, and then Mr. Wilkins fucking grabs her, puts her up against the. Mr. Wilkins has vampire form. Grabs her, puts her up against the tree, and then starts, getting a little bit freaky with her. Just starts licking her because he thought she was like an ice cream, and then he just says, "My, what pretty eye." what big eyes you have, because she's dressed up as Red Riding Hood. So then we cut back to this girl's group of friends, and they're in this forest, and one of them scream, and then a big red fat ass cloak just gets shot on the ground by God, and the group goes over to check. It's the vampire guy. Basically, one of them takes out his fangs. They take off his mask. It's Wilkins. I already mentioned that. And Wilkins, he notices that this was a really rough party because everyone seems to be on the ground, passed out, drunk, asleep. No one's moving or anything. So then basically the woman that's on top of him smile, and then he gets the most terrifying undressing scene ever, because all of the women, they basically just take off. They strip. They don't even strip down not only their clothes. They literally take off their skin and reveal themselves to be werewolves. So then the werewolves feast upon Wilkins. So three kids are walking around there trick or treating, and they come across this house, and basically one of them go up to the front door. They knock on it, and it opens up. It's pitch darkness. It's like it's P Diddy's lair or some shit. And one of them say trick or treat. Hopefully it's not a trick and it's a treat. And then they see glowing eyes in the darkness. Looks like a fucking skinwalker. So they freak out. And the dog, it runs after him. Turns out it's just a dog. And turns out the owner is Krieg. And Krieg, the fat ass, just got 3 full bags of sweets, man. Man's gonna be able to speedrun diabetes in no time. So he's inside watching TV. He bites into a bar, tastes like a shit steak. He puts it away, and then he hears his front gate creaking. He goes to the window to check what it is. One of the kids came back and threw a brick at his window and smashed his fucking window in. They threw an egg, and his dog he basically goes back to the cupboard, gets a bat. He has a baseball bat on him, and then his dog is barking at the front door. So he opens the door, is ready to crack some skulls open. Then he comes. Then turns out his entire front garden is covered in pumpkins. It's like the kids came back, done their art project, and then left just to troll Krieg. So then Krieg goes back inside. So Krieg goes back in. He operates from a grey weapon to a blue weapon. He gets a shotgun. So he tries to turn on the light upstairs, but then it fucking pops, and a little fucking toddler just comes running by, and he basically goes upstairs, starts searching his house. He goes into one room, sees something moving underneath the covers. So he basically checks, opens it up, and it's 2 people fucking. He just walked in on them during sexy time. No, it's basically just like a fake hand underneath, just moving along. So then he gets stabbed from underneath the bed by someone holding a razor blade. He falls down. Sam comes up, reveals himself. Oh, not a little chocolate bar. It's a little razor blade. Always check your candy. So Sam's walking towards Krieg. He's about to carve him up, but then Krieg, a pumpkin actually lit itself for no reason in the room, so he shoots the pumpkin and Sam disappears. So then when Krieg's walking out of his room, he's hobbling down his hallway, and then when he gets to his staircase, he goes on a slip and slide down to his staircase onto the ground floor, and he ends up landing on broken glass and shit. His staircase was booby trapped like Kevin from Home Alone, because there's razor blades, broken glass, there's sweets and shit everywhere. Man was trapping him like it's a Christmas movie, but it's a Halloween movie. So Krieg tries to go to his front door. He tries to unlock all the little many fucking child kidnapper locks that he has on his door. He tries to open them, but he's struggling because his hands are in bits, because there's glass and shit all over in them. And as Krieg is unlocking the door, you can see Sam actually is above the ceiling on top of him. He crawls on the ceiling. So then Sam lands on the ceiling and starts fucking punching, starts smacking Krieg. Krieg grabs him, throws him off of himself into the mirror. So then he tries to go to the window, and he tries to call for Wilkins' help. Remember the scene earlier on where Wilkins said "screw you" to Krieg and went inside? Yeah, this is coming back to that part, because in this movie all the 4 stories are connected in some way. So he tries to go to the window, calls Wilkins for help. Wilkins just gives him the silent treatment and walks back inside. So then after Will just got left on open IRL, Sam hops onto Krieg and actually ends up flooring him. So he's on top of Krieg. He's just fucking beating the shit out of him, punching him. Krieg basically tries to go for his mask. He tries to rip it off. He rips it off, and it reveals a disgusting piece of shit who has a pumpkin skull thing. He's basically some demonic creature. So then Sam whips out his little blade from his back, and Krieg basically pushes him off. He bites down on Krieg's leg, trying to get a nice little munch. So then Krieg whips out his shotgun, points at Sam's head, shoots him, and Sam actually goes flying across the floor like it's covered in lube. So then he walks over to Sam, shoots an arm off, shoots him in the gut. and that's really it. He only shot him twice. I feel like he really just should have shot him to bits. I swear in the movie before, I remember him just completely shooting him apart until he was like nothing, just bits and pieces everywhere. But anyway, Creed goes over to the phone to call for 911. He calls for 911, but then they're like, what's your emergency? He says, yeah, there's someone in the house. He's like, I don't give a shit. So they basically hang up on him, tell him to go fuck himself, and a hand basically, or the power cord got ripped from the wall. So he basically has he's basically getting no help. He accidentally hung up on the police. So then an arm crawls over to Creed, stabs him on the foot. He gives him a tetanus shot, and then he falls onto the ground, and it goes over to Sam, and Sam, it basically reattaches to his body like he's a Lego character. He basically has regeneration like a Lego figurine. So, Krieg is sitting on the ground helpless as fuck now because he's injured, and Sam whips out a lollipop, and he takes a bite into it. He's walking over to Krieg, to give him the taste test. Be like, here, what you think? Do you think this tastes like shit or good? So Krieg is sitting there, and he notices a glass ball on top of a fold-up table with a basket. So he pulls out the basket. Everything falls all over. A candy bar actually falls onto Krieg. So he grabs the ball, smashes it because he's about to shank Sam. But then when he goes to shank Sam, Sam grabs that shit, fucking twists his arm, and I think breaks it, and he makes him drop the ball. So then Sam goes over to Krieg, and Krieg is basically just there accepting it. He's going to accept that Sam is going to give it to him. So basically Sam goes over to stab him with the lollipop, but he ends up stabbing into a chocolate bar that landed on Krieg. And I thought this was a bit dumb, because then after he stabbed onto the chocolate bar, Sam just leaves him alone. Sam just spares his life. I don't know. I guess it's because he gave Sam a chocolate bar, but I swear he already broke the rule of Halloween. Sam was already trying to kill him, but then he got deterred by a chocolate bar. It's like the slit mouth woman. You just have to distract her with sweets, and then she'll leave you alone. He becomes evil until he sees sugar, and he's like, oh la la la, I'll mind my own business now. So Sam leaves Krieg because Krieg, I guess, has redeemed himself. So then we got to Krieg. He's actually getting in the Halloween spirit. He trick-or-treaters knock on his door, and he comes out, gives them sweets, and then he goes back in. He hears more knocks on his door, thinking it's trick-or-treaters. So he opens the door, and then he closes it again, and he sees it's all the zombie kids from before that he ended up killing. They just came back from the dead because they just wanted, to see what he had. So basically, the movie ends with Krieg getting torn apart and dying in like comic panels. And see you later.